What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you, well, with an update. Konami just released this. It's effective as of May 11, 2023. Weird how it's effective May 2023. What's happening on May 11th? COVID, just see what happens. Look at this. Is the pandemic ending on May 11, 2023? Based on the current COVID-19 trends, HHS plans to let the COVID-19 declaration expire at the end of May. There it is right there. Once again, I guess COVID stops becoming COVID at the end of May, right? The reason why this came out, by the way, this whole situation, the topic of this video, or what I'm about to say, by Konami, by YuGiOh, is seriously only because they have to. If it's Konami and they could choose what to do, they would have you wearing masks, taking vaccines. It'll get to the point where they're telling you need to wear diapers in case you crap yourself at events. Applesauce only, okay? With the plastic spoons, you can't use sporks. Who knows what can happen? Konami, the trading card company turned pharmaceutical off-brand company in a matter of a couple of years. It's crazy what's been going on. This is why we got this update that is effective May 11th. Had this little change happen over here, and that bad boy said May 12th, you'd be damn sure it would say effective as of May 12th. Konami cannot promote their idiotic ideology onto the play base no more. They can't force you to do things no more. They really can't. They lose all that premature magical powers that was given to them to force people to take vaccines and wear masks at YuGiOh events. So let's not get it twisted that Konami is doing this at the bottom of their heart because they care about the player base. It's all about control. It's never about care. We know this at the end of the day. I'm gonna go ahead and read this, and I'm gonna take in breaks to let you know what I think about certain things that are said in this post. By the way, this is a legal document by Konami. Their legal team had helped them do this. There's no way they decided to make this by themselves. Once again, they need to legally remove themselves in case you go to a YuGiOh event and somehow catch COVID-19. Not that you could really sue anybody for catching COVID-19 at a YuGiOh event before, but in their minds, they think that's how that works. Because why? Well, because COVID's bad, says the TV, and Konami be watching TV all too much. Alright. Konami Digital Entertainment, KDE/US, strongly encourages, but does not require, well, can no longer be forced to require all attendees to be fully vaccinated and wear a mask. However, KDE/US reserves the right to implement a mandatory mask and or vaccine requirement for any event on short notice. Basically, what they're trying to say is, if this goes away right here, if this goes away from hss.gov, the government says, Konami, you can do this again, you'd bet your sweet ass Konami would have you out there. They'll be out there running around with fucking shit looking like Freddy Krueger, stabbing dudes with vaccines, slapping masks on them, and then you look at their announcers and then they got no mask because COVID's scared of announcers, evidently. But for you, they would have you do this in a heartbeat, mind you. Okay, so once again, let's not get it twisted. They're reserving the right because if HSS goes away, they're going to go ahead and act on that right that they want to reserve. Let me continue reading. However, it is your responsibility to and by the way, I just worked out, I just got home, I've been running around, I'm a little bit exhausted, so okay. However, it's your responsibility to confirm you have read and understood the most current KDE/US COVID-19 policy prior to your arrival at an event by checking this FAQ section, which may be updated from time to time. This is the same Konami, by the way, that implemented ways to ban you if you don't have a vaccine. Ways to ban you if you don't have a mask. They're doing this, once again, effective May 11, because that's what that's the power that they have. That went to their head immediately, by the way. And it's so, I live in a small town, and in this small town, these hillbillies go on like power trips. It's insane. Like you could make a dude out here a whoremonger and then become RoboCop. And it's no different with companies like Konami, where the HSS was like, you know what? If you can force people to wear masks at events, they're like, I can, sure. Everyone, you gotta wear masks, except you commentator, of course. That's fucking dumb. But everyone else has to wear masks. Like, that's what it is. That's what it comes down to. Updated from time to time, meaning they're just waiting and Googling and hoping the government allows them to do this power to just make people wear masks. It's fucking cruel. It's disgusting. It's mean to the player base, by the way. It's absolutely abhorrent. And this is what they want to do. In years' time, Konami's gonna have to turn around and apologize for this, mind you. Let's not get it, like, everyone knows this already. Everyone with half a brain realizes the people forcing shit on other people, yeah, doesn't really work out for them in the end on anything. In time, Konami will come out and apologize. Mind you, anyone, someone out there, I'm not trying to break my neck sucking my own dick, but mind you, I was the only YouTuber who came out when COVID first even appeared on the radar and said, get your mask, said, get your food. And anyone watching my channel for a while, you know, I was the only one saying this. Please get it. And then when I had enough information, which anyone could have looked up, including Konami, I said, you do not need to wear a mask. They do not work. Where everyone was telling you needed a mask. When I said get a mask, everyone said don't. Why? Because there's people that go along with the flow, and there's people that do their own research. Which one are you? Honestly, actually answer that question. Please note that attendees must follow the measure outlined in the KDE US COVID addendum to help prevent the spread of illness. The COVID-19 addendum can be found at blah 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 addendum. Okay. Any attendee who has or develops COVID, the symptoms consistent with COVID-19, regardless of vaccination status or other measures taken, isn't it crazy? Like, oh yeah, if you have the vaccine but you get COVID, you gotta follow. Then you gotta get out of these events. So maybe the vaccine isn't really working. Isn't it, like, I don't. You would think, right? Anyway, should refrain from attending this event. If symptoms develop during this event, attendees should immediately notify staff. And you know what? I agree with Konami on this one. If you seriously start feeling sick, let people know. Like, be considerate. It just makes sense. I agree with Konami 100% on this, by the way. Withdraw from this event and leave the venue. Let's be honest, people aren't going to do it, but once again, I understand Konami actually makes a point here, and they're not wrong. If someone has COVID-19, I hope they do, like, take it amongst themselves. They go, hey, listen, I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling down with something, and I don't want to be around other people because I don't want other people to get what I have. It's just consideration. I get that. If event staff observes symptoms consistent with COVID-19, bro, Konami, this is the part where I just look at you and go, what are you talking about? For anyone who doesn't know, COVID-19, I'm doing this on the fly, by the way. COVID-19 symptoms. Watch this. Just watch this. Okay? Just watch it. Okay. Fever, chills, coughness, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, fatigue, muscle body aches, headache, new loss or taste of smell. Okay? Okay. The flu symptoms. All right. Let's see. It could be anything. Pain in the muscles. Cough can be dry with phlegm. Whole body, chills, dehydrated, fatigue, fever, flushing. It's literally the same fucking thing. So if you have the flu or COVID, they're basically saying, well, if they see you with the flu, they're going to treat it like COVID. If they see you with COVID, hey, they're going to treat it like the flu. Well, they're not going to treat it like the flu. That's kind of, redundant at that point. But that's basically what they're saying. And if you cough 3 times in a row, they're probably going to kick you out of the event. I'm just joking at this point. I don't really know. But this is a really gray area. And of course, it's Konami in gray area. They go hand in hand. Ask the 30+ players that got banned for Facebook posting about, going to YuGiOh events to look at them buy cards. Ask them about gray areas. They may direct impact individuals to leave the venue. Now, once again, this is the part where you're like, yeah, I don't disagree. Like, if you see someone legit sick, honestly sick, then yeah, I think as a Konami employee, you should take it amongst yourself to say, hey, listen, we got to get rid of this person. I'm sorry. I know you might have flu and you're my child, but I get that. But if someone has a couple of coughs, come on. So, once again, this is a gray area. Anyway. This can include symptomatic individual and those who were in close proximity with such individuals for an extended period of time. So if someone's throwing up and you're going to help someone throwing up, you can get kicked out of YuGiOh events. Hey, I'm sorry. There's a chance you got COVID. That bitch acts immediately, evidently. It doesn't matter, right? COVID doesn't act immediately. It actually has an incubation time. But Konami doesn't know this because the TV forgot to tell Konami about this. But COVID vaccine and majority of viruses normally have what's called an incubation time. If you help someone who has COVID at a YuGiOh event, you would not become symptomatic immediately. That doesn't fucking work that way. This isn't the T virus, bro. Like, Konami. Seriously, look into this. Like, Google more shit because evidently you have not done that. But anyway, okay, whatever. By attending this event, all attendees understand and acknowledge that they risk exposure to and contraction of potentially dangerous diseases and viruses, including the coronavirus disease, COVID-19, severe acute respiratory syndrome, coronavirus 2, SARS-CoV-2, and any other diseases or viruses not listed while traveling to, from, and during the event. By attending this event, all attendees agree to knowingly and freely assume such risk and enter the venue at their own risk. They're treating this fucking shit like the minute you had a YuGiOh event, it's a hotbed of all kinds of viruses. Dudes out there getting shot, dudes shooting heroin in the corner, fucking dudes dying in a bad drug deal, dudes getting raped in jail. But if you go to a YuGiOh event, you can get COVID. Be careful out there. What the fuck, Konami? Like, listen, everyone on planet Earth, for the most part, hold on, let me exit this out because I got a buddy calling me, I'm doing the video. Everyone on planet Earth, for the most part, understands that COVID is pretty much gone. In fact, as we enter the summertime, if you watch the trends, COVID actually is at its all-time lowest during the summertime, when it gets warmer out. It only makes sense that this whole thing, especially around this time, May, is when we would see this thing be implemented because of the lackluster numbers in COVID. I know CNN/Konami, I know you're upset about that. You really get your dicks hard seeing people wear masks and taking vaccines as you sit there in a corner with no mask, laughing it off. But realistically speaking, you can't keep this game going. Eventually, players will find other places to go play cards, and it won't be at YuGiOh events. Now, don't get me wrong, I do want to play at YCS. I'm looking forward to playing at Nationals, and this is why I went ahead and got my Nationals hotel, because one, I knew this was going to happen. We all knew this was going to happen. But two, also Konami can't keep this game going along of trying to force people to do things they don't want to do. They just can't. And they know they can't. They run out of time to do this. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that the COVID-19 virus is definitely a virus that you should be careful of, and obviously take the proper precautions. But you're an adult. I'm not gonna fucking go over your house and make sure you're drinking orange juice so you get that good vitamin D in the morning. I only hope that you take care of yourself. Health, mental, everything. If you don't, that is on you, and you incur the consequences. That's called being an adult. And YuGiOh on the wrapper says 9 and up, but realistically, it's anyone who's a fucking adult that plays this game. Because max area decks, they don't come cheap, and you can't get them with school lunch. So Konami, get it together. Stop treating us like kids, because we're not your kids. Okay, Konami? Cat ladies out there, like, we just want to come to play a card game. We spend a lot of money, we travel from a long way, and the last thing we want is you trying to wipe our ass and blow our noses. Get out my face with that crap. By attending this event in person, all attendees understand. Oh, I already read that already. Like I said, it's just ridiculous the way they think. Like, the minute you're at a YuGiOh event, people just dropping dead because of viruses. And you're like, run, it's COVID, no. Dude's getting raped by COVID in the corner. People put a mask on. Hurry, give me the vaccine. Pops the vaccine, COVID goes, no, and then runs away. That's not how that fucking shit works. Like, stop being a bunch of babies. KDE/US makes no representations that it has taken any safety precautions that relate to infectious disease or exposure. And even if KDE did proactively take preventative measures, KDE/US has made no representation that those measures will in any way reduce or prevent the risk associated with exposure. They're saying, hey, listen, we used to do shit, we want to take safety precautions, but since we can't do it to you, obviously, because, the government ain't backing us anymore, we tried. And if you did the things we said you did, if you wore the mask, if you took the vaccine, if you took the booster, if you fucking walked in there and had a bib and had a baby bottle with you, there's still a chance that, and we can't stop it, Konami, by the way, the royal we, that you're gonna get COVID. And they're not wrong. Because you see, viruses happen to do these weird things, even if you have a mask on. If you have a mask on, and a virus gets inside you at any way possible, and there's a lot of ways you get infected with a virus. If a little bit of that virus gets inside your body, you know what it does? It has this weird thing. Some of you heard this. It spreads, duplicates, like a virus should. Viruses are meant to spread. Like them, hate them, it's indifferent. That's what they're meant to do. And your stupid Dowsol cloth mask that Konami hands you out at YuGiOh events is not going to stop a virus from doing exactly what it is designed to do. It will spread. Allegedly, this virus was made in a laboratory, so probably spread in a stronger way than what most viruses spread. But that's all rumor and speculation. And unlike CNN, Konami, I'm not going to talk of rumor and speculation. What I would tell you is viruses are meant to spread. Masks will do nothing. Vaccines are there as a preventative measure, but they're not the finality. They're not going to 100% stop it, okay? And vaccines, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're terrible. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not anti-vax. What I am saying is, if you had the COVID virus, and then you're good, obviously, afterwards, you don't need a vaccine. It's called herd immunity. You can actually look this up. If you had a vaccine, if you had the virus, you don't need a vaccine because you have a better one. There's a great video out there by Dr. Fauci before he turned all idiotic, talking about how the fact that if you have a virus and then your body has antibodies, you do not need a vaccine. In fact, your body is better than the vaccine. You would think Konami would add this in, but of course not. Because they just want you to taking stupid booster shots, dumbass vaccines, and wear ineffective masks. This is what they're about. And what they're trying to say here is basically just trying to cover their ass. Attendees release KDE/US, its employees and representatives, and all persons involved with respect to any and all illnesses, disability, death, or loss or damage to person or property, to the full extent permitted by law. Let me ask you a question. Has anyone ever sued YuGiOh at Konami at a YuGiOh event because they got a backpack stolen? Seriously. Has anyone ever done that ever? Period. Ever? Anyone? No? Okay. Has anyone ever died at a YuGiOh event? No? Ever? Never? Never? Okay. So that never happened. Has anyone got sick at a YuGiOh event, turned around after getting sick, we're not done yet, and then sued Konami? No? Never? You sure? Ever? Weird. Maybe this is bullshit. Because that's what it is. They're basically saying if anything happens at our events, we're not responsible for it. Fucking A, Konami, you never have been. That's like an alcoholic father saying to his son, hey, if I don't get to come to your game later on, it's because I'm drunk. Bro, no news to me, Konami. You've never been there for me. Why the fuck do I expect you to start being there now? Like, this is where I think the lawyer was just told him to add this crap in. But it's so stupid because at YuGiOh events, Konami has never done anything other than run the YuGiOh events for the players. I imagine if someone walked in with a gun and put it to another guy's head, Konami would go, can I get your costume ID? I gotta suspend you for carrying a weapon at YuGiOh events. They don't care if that shot is fired because their job is not to care. And somehow they decided to put this in just to say, hey, listen, if you do get shot, it ain't on us. Fucking A. You never cared anyway. And they caps this, by the way. By attending in this event, attendees are deemed to have given a full release of liability to KDE/US to the full extent permitted by law. My favorite part about this exact line, by the way, and Konami, this is where you're going to go, oh yeah, that's true. Anyone who goes to Pokemon events, you're going to go, oh yeah, that's true. And to anyone else that plays YuGiOh that has a phone or camera that's worried about hitting that record button because you can get banned for recording or not a good recording area, here's where it gets weird. That exact same line, that legal document that they put in all caps lock because they felt it was so important, that right there, they can do the same thing with video, with being photographed, with being video recorded at YuGiOh events. The same exact thing. By attending this event, attendees are deemed to have given full release of liability to being filmed. I mean, once again, it's right there. To get to the full extent permitted by law. If I film at a YuGiOh event, it's the same thing like walking outside and filming, right? Well, not really. Konami has permission to do whatever they want within that event. And even though we just read all this, I just said all this, Konami can still make people wear masks. They really can. Now, is there a legal aspect? Yes, that's why they're adding legal bullshit at the bottom. There is a legal aspect. And it's only going to take one rich person who happens to play YuGiOh to go to the YuGiOh event to really cause waves that's going to break this bullshit. So Konami, in their defense, is trying to legally protect their ass. Which is ironic because they could have made this whole thing a long time ago without COVID, by the way, and said, you come to our events, you're responsible for your own shit. If something happens to you, that's on you. Legally. Once again, this bottom part makes perfect sense to me, but it should have been done years ago. It also should have been done years ago with being photographed at YuGiOh events, video recorded at YuGiOh events. The line was always, well, what if there's a child? Bro, are you kidding me? If I walk outside right now and record around, and there's kids getting my video, no one's sitting home jerking off to that. Like, nobody's doing that. This is all recording for YouTube. And this is what Konami does not understand. This is what they fail to reason with. And I really do hope Konami can learn from all this. They can turn this around for their benefit, actually. And I always want to give the salt with the sugar, and I'll say, Konami, by adding this in there, you will now, at future events, allow people to record on video other people. Once again, as long as it doesn't get involved with somebody and stop somebody from doing whatever, or someone doesn't want to be recorded, someone doesn't want to be recorded, and you're good to go. That's it. But as long as that doesn't happen, it doesn't create that kind of issue, I think we should allow this for people to record at your events. Because once again, you said it right here, by attending this event, attendees are deemed to have given full release of liability. Doesn't that include being recorded? So I just want to throw that out there as a little bone to Konami that maybe they'll have to chew on. And the little bone, I think that would work good for Konami is get ahead of what you're about to be doing in the future and start saying that you're sorry for what happened. And don't give me this, oh, but V, we did it because we care about the player base. You didn't. It's hypocritical. We saw in Europe people not wearing masks. We saw in South America majority of people not wearing masks. We saw the 2 commentators that were on camera so we could see it here in the United States, by the way. Cute. And we saw here in the United States that your commentators didn't wear masks at all, but everyone else did. So the masks don't work. The vaccines are full of shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. If people want to take them, they're adults. Let them take them. But you didn't do nothing other than promote propaganda. You didn't do nothing other than tell players that they have to do shit that they didn't want to do. Be a card game company. That's it. It's that simple. So once again, Konami, you want us to get ahead of all this? If I was in your shoes, if I was working at Konami today, I would do 2 things. I would allow players to record at the YuGiOh events, because if you've ever been to Pokemon events, there's never a problem. It's pretty good for the most part, all over. And not only would you do, and they have a younger player base, but they don't give a fuck about that because you can record, because that's what you do. As well as issue an apology to all the players for forcing them to wear masks and vaccines. Say you had the best interests at heart, but ultimately tell the player base that the masks and vaccines that you felt that you had to do, you felt was right at the time. Moving forward, you're looking forward to having events that are carefree of this. Still, players by entering your events have give full release of liability, period, to enter those events. But ultimately, this is what you want to do moving forward. You appreciate the player base, and you hope everyone can come to your events in the future and play the card game. It's that fucking simple. You don't need all this bullshit in there. You could have did that 2 seconds. Made yourself look a little bit better. Because I guarantee you, in the future, if this game's still around, you will apologize for this. As many people will. Because what was done was fucking cruel. It was horrible. It was mean to not only the players of this game, but everybody. Forcing people to do things in the view of safety, which wasn't even safe, is fucking idiotic and cruel. And that's what happened here. I am excited about this, though. It's going to be great for Yu-Gi-Oh! As a game overall. My goal, once again, I said it before, I'll say it again on this channel, is care about the game, not about anything else, including Konami. No offense to Konami. I know they do a great job. I know they work really hard for this game, but I don't care. I'll be straight up with you. I only care about the game itself and what benefits the game from my end and my angle as a competitive player within this game. And I do hope that Konami can not only learn from this, but make this into their benefit for not only themselves as a company, but the game overall. It's that easy. Okay, this game could be bigger than what it was yesterday by not hearing this. This game could be bigger than it was on May 10th. We can do it together. And all it takes is Konami just to listen to the community. It's not hard, dude. There's a lot of people that are sick and tired of this mass vaccine bullshit, this COVID story, that just want to go to Yu-Gi-Oh! As an outlet to play, to get away from all that garbage. You're not protecting nobody by promoting a deception. It's your boy V, and you guys will have a great day.